Instructional problems. In this course in Instructional Design and Technology, we're going to take a look at what an instructional problem is. This will be the thing that you do for your mini lesson project. It'll be part of what you build out for your instructional planning documents. But let's take a closer look, because getting the instructional problem right at the very start sets us in the correct direction for finding a workable instructional design solution. Here's an instructional problem as I can describe it. These are identified by poor human performance or deficiency in knowledge, could be a deficiency in attitude as well. It's a type of a problem that can be solved with instruction or training naturally. That stands in contrast to the types of problems that can be solved with non-instructional solutions, or those are called non-instructional problems. Let's take a closer look at what some of those how some of those could be addressed. So there are, if you're dealing with employee motivation and you're wondering, we just need to train them how to act better, maybe it's not really that at all. Not that they don't know, it's they're not incentivized. So we use policies and practices, and we set up management structures. We provide rewards and incentives. We give awards for accomplishments. There might need to be a change in performance review systems. Maybe the benefits need to change in order to create higher levels of relevance and satisfaction for to improve performance. You're wondering about, so those are, I call those intangibles. Tangible things are, you might want to give people more money for the work that they're doing if there's a poor performance issue. Maybe they need a different piece of equipment or some furniture. Maybe they need a light bulb above their work space in order to perform better or do their job better. Perhaps changing their hours. It's all the stuff that is not part of training or instruction that becomes a non-instructional problem. In our course, we are focusing on instructional problems where you can design training or learning lessons, mini lessons that can support the acquisition of new knowledge, skills, or attitude. An instructional problem has a few components to it. Let's talk through those. There's a current condition. That is, what is happening right now that you see or are aware of and go, there's a problem here that I think instruction might be able to solve. But before you jump to an instructional solution, let's make sure that we understand that's really the thing to do. If you recognize that something is happening now and it isn't quite right, that means you have a picture of what an ideal state should be. So what should be happening? You want to move from the current state to the ideal state. Or you want your learners to move in that direction, or you're hired to do an analysis for a group of workers, staff members. Someone had noticed that there were symptoms of the current condition. They see things or are aware of conditions or circumstances that are the effects of the problem. Connects into this area right here. This is the gap between what the current condition is and what the ideal state is. There's things that come out of there that make us aware that something isn't quite right or that something could be better. We often have ideas, or someone does, about what the possible causes are. Why does this problem exist in the first place? Where could it have come from? What are the conditions that it's happening in? And how do we get it to a better state? Well, trying to understand that better state is part of the ecosystem in which this problem is occurring. It involves the current condition as well as what the symptoms are, the possible causes, all come out of the system in which you are trying to work. And there could be multiple different factors that require the instructional designer's analysis. The thing that you are analyzing is this gap. It's the difference between what currently is and what should be, where we are today with where we want to be tomorrow. In this course, you will have an instructional design problem that will have a gap between what the current condition of learners are versus where you would like them to go. The question is, how will you close the gap through your final project and all of your planning documents through the course? Here's an example of a hypothetical problem. First, some background. There's an estimated 20% of the U.S. population that has a learning disability. For example, dyslexia, auditory processing disorder, attention deficits, or cognitive dysfunction. Hypothetically, the current condition could be this. Students in the Instructional Design and Technology Certificate Program graduate with a certificate, but they don't know how to instruct adult learners or even children who have learning disabilities. What would the ideal state be, or the criterion? That would be that graduates of the program should be able to design and deliver instruction to accommodate learners at any level with learning disabilities, with an understanding and an ability to develop and design instruction. Continuing the example, symptoms of the current condition. There's unequitable learning conditions that proliferate. There could be the possibility of a lowered value of impact, the understanding of learning disabilities on students. There could be misinformation about those learning disabilities. There's frustration by students who have learning disabilities that are not being addressed through the instructional content. Certainly, there's a possibility that the professional integrity of the entire program and its graduates is lowered. Here are some more examples. Possible causes. The learning disabilities are not addressed in course texts. The instructors are not adequately trained in how to teach about learning disabilities and how to address those. Instructional strategies and technologies in the course that are designed to address learning disabilities are not included in the curriculum, and that students and instructors may have no or little understanding of the importance of, or simply lack enough awareness of learning disabilities. So how would you close that gap? You have an opportunity to discuss your answer to the question below in Module 1 discussion on this topic. What would you do to close the gap of this hypothetical instructional problem? To help you, I have provided two documents. Is it really an instructional problem? Is a PDF a collection of excerpts of different texts that I've used that give a viewpoint of what an instructional problem is from different professional viewpoints in our field? The next document, examples of instructional problems, are the problem statements submitted by students that I've taught in the past from a variety of fields and interests to identify the instructional problem that they used in the course to create their example lesson of instructional design. And that's all there is for now.